Is 12 o'clock. Here is the midday news. First, the top stories. 4 killed, 5 injured in fatal auto crash at Ijebu exit of Lagos Benin Expressway. Acting President issues Riot Act to separatist agitators. DSS investigates sponsors of hate speech capable of destabilizing Nigeria. Lagos government resumes sale of lake rice ahead of the Salah celebration. On the foreign scene, van hits pedestrians in London, leaving 1 dead and 8 injured. 4 terrorists, 2 tourists killed in jihadist attack on luxury resort in Mali. Good afternoon, I am Chienye Egwuonwu bringing you the details of the news shortly. 4 persons have been killed in an auto crash during a heavy rainfall along the Ijebu axis of the Lagos-Benin Expressway. 5 other passengers were also injured in the accident. The accident involved a passenger sport utility van (SUV) marked LND 708 AH and a truck marked JJJ 50XQ. Spokesman of the Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps, TRACE, Commander Babatunde Akinbiyi, says the SUV, which was traveling from Lagos, rammed into the truck from behind. The 4 dead persons in the SUV included the driver and a boy. Akinbiyi explains those injured and bodies of those killed in the crash had been taken to the Ijebu General Hospital. Ogun State Judicial Service Commission is recruiting judges for the state's customary courts. The available vacancies, according to the Commission Secretary, Mr. Kolawole Peters, is President, Grand 1 judges who will be on contract, which is renewable every 3 years. Kolawole says that applicants must be an indigene of Ogun State, a barrister or solicitors with not less than 5 years experience. Interested applicants are directed to inquire for details from www.ogunstatejc.org.ng. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo has read a riot act to the pro-Biafra agitators and a group of northern youths asking Ndigbo to quit the northern region. He told them and other separatist agitators that they are violating the constitution and government will not fold its arms over the threat they pose. Osinbajo issuing the warning at a meeting with traditional rulers from the southeast region at the presidential villa Abuja warns that they risk jail terms because the 1999 constitution says Nigeria is an indivisible entity. According to the acting president, enough blood has been spilled and hundreds of thousands of lives lost in the quest to keep Nigeria one. He, however, says that governments and people must be very sensitive to the reasons for the growing agitations, which according to him are based on perceived marginalization. The acting president promises that the presidency will listen to all the suggestions, reasons and agitations to ensure that justice is done to address them. Meanwhile, the Archbishop Emeritus of Lagos, Anthony Olubunmi Okoje, has cautioned Nigerians against acts that could plunge the country into another civil war. Okoje issued the warning at an occasion to mark his 81st birthday in Lagos. The cleric says Nigeria must avoid the grave mistake of allowing differences that should have been resolved peacefully to degenerate into a civil war. Nigeria's political class, according to him, should stop pitting youth against each other and the elders to stop fanning the embers of disintegration. Department of Security Service (DSS) says it has begun a detailed investigation to arrest perpetrators and sponsors of ethnic and regional hate campaign. The agency, in a statement by Tony Okweyo, says that all those involved in these condemnable acts will be unmasked and dealt with in accordance with the rule of law. The service says it has watched with keen interest the disturbing trend by desperate and mischievous elements pushing the nation to calamity and destruction. It cites the case of the Arewa youths who called for the relocation of the Igbos from the north, followed by the Niger Delta watchdogs threatening all northerners to quit Niger Delta region. Another group, DSS adds, went to the extent of harvesting from the internet a horrific accident scene for the purpose of making it look like a site of massacre of Igbo ethnic group by northern youths. However, the agency says it has established that the purported murder scene, which was being depicted as a field of massacre, was a high casualty accident scene which occurred along Owo Akure Road, Ondo State, on 3rd of March 2016. DSS wants those involved in the misleading and despicable acts to desist from anything capable of causing disaffection and stoking nationwide tensions. The number of graduate applicants recorded on the portal of the N-Power job has hit 753,307 on the fifth day of the second phase of the recruitment exercise. The President's Senior Special Assistant in Job Creation, Afolabi Imokwede, in an interview in Asaba, says the teacher volunteer applicants topped the list with 470,456 applicants, and agriculture volunteer with 127,315 applicants. The number of health volunteer applicants on the N-Power Job Creation portal is 85,691, while the N-Tax volunteer applicants totaled 669,842. An estimated 300,000 young graduates are to be recruited in the ongoing second phase of the job creation exercise. More than 200,000 were engaged in the first phase of the program in year 2016. Hundreds of motorists heading towards Abuja and other parts of the north are stranded at the Osiroko axis of the Ilorin-Omuarakaba Federal Road due to a gridlock. The traffic jam, which started as early as 8 a.m. on Sunday, saw many of the motorists sitting inside their vehicles for hours. The bridge that collapsed at Tatabu village in Niger Delta in Niger State last Monday had forced diversion on the road for travelers going to the northern parts of the country. The bridge, which is situated in Mokwa local government area of the state, was said to have collapsed following a heavy downpour. The affected vehicles, including commercial buses loaded with passengers, were seen struggling to maneuver their ways out of the congestion using the bush paths, especially at the OC end of the road. Lagos State government has resumed the sale of its branded lake rice ahead of the Eid al-Fitr festival. The State Agriculture Commissioner Olanrewaju Saurau, who announced this, says the sale of the rice will begin today at approved outlets. The price of the rice, according to him, remains 12,000 naira for a 50-kilogram bag, 6,000 naira for a 25-kilogram bag, and 2,500 naira for a 10-kilogram bag. The approved retail outlets, according to the Commissioner, include State Universal Basic Education Board, headquarters at Magodo, Government Technical College, Lagos State Agriculture Input Supply Authority at Ojo, Aja and Odoginyo near Ikorodu. Others are headquarters of the state's 57 local governments and local council development areas, LTV 8 complex at Agidingbi, Agriculture Development Area Complex at Okoba, Idimu and Eko Farmers Mart in Surulere. You're still listening to the Midday News on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you foreign, business and sports news. Please do stay with us. On the foreign scene, a man has died and 8 people have been injured after a van struck a crowd of pedestrians near a North London mosque. The man was arrested following the collision near Finsbury Park Mosque in Seven Sisters Road. The Muslim Council of Britain said a van intentionally ran over worshippers. The body said it was a violent manifestation of Islamophobia and called for extra security around mosques. Prime Minister Theresa May described it as a terrible incident, adding that all her thoughts are with those who have been injured, their loved ones, and the emergency services on the scene. Gunmen have stormed a tourist resort at luxury resort in Mali, east of the capital Bamako, which is popular with Westerners, and 2 people are dead. Malian special forces intervened, backed by UN soldiers and troops from a French counter-terrorism force. The country's security minister, Salif Traore, says it is a jihadist attack, and for the moment, there are 2 dead, including a Franco-Gabonese. The minister said 4 assailants had been killed by security forces. Mali has been fighting a jihadist insurgency for several years, with Islamist fighters roaming the country's north and center. In November 2015, at least 20 people were killed when gunmen took guests and staff hostage at the Radisson Blu Hotel in Bamako. French President Emmanuel Macron's party has won a clear parliamentary majority, results show, weeks after his own presidential victory. With nearly all votes counted, his La République En Marche, alongside its modern allies, won more than 300 seats in the 577-seat National Assembly. The Conservative Republicans and their allies could form a large opposition bloc with 125 to 131 seats. The Socialists, who were in power for the past 5 years, alongside their partners, look set to get only 41 to 49 seats, their lowest tally ever. The far-right National Front, the FN party, won 8 seats, but it had set its sights on 15. The President's party was formed just over a year ago, and half of its candidates have little or no political experience. The result has swept aside all of the mainstream parties and gives the 39-year-old president a strong mandate in parliament to pursue. Next is the business news. A section of the road leading from Ijora to the Apapa seaport in Lagos Metropolis is to be shut down for a year to facilitate its reconstruction as part of moves to decongest heavy traffic jam that is affecting movement in and out of the axis. Affected portion to be constructed with concrete is a 2-kilometer stretch from the Marine Beach Bridge to the Nigeria Ports Authority end of the road. The project being financed by NPA, Dangote Industries, and the Nigerian flour mills is to be handled by the A construction firm, AG Dangote, at a cost of 4.3 billion naira. A memorandum for the project had been signed between the presidency and the NPA, the Dangote Industries, and Nigerian flour mills. Power Works and Infrastructure Minister Raji Fashola signing the agreement, in which the road was handed over to the financier of the project, is optimistic that its implementation will provide a final solution to the agonies of residents, road users and companies in the area. Finally, sports news. Abia Warriors Football Club have scraped a 2-1 victory against hard-fighting Nigeria Professional Football League (NPFL) leaders, the Plateau United FC. It was in the March Day 25 fixture as Warriors denied the leaders an opportunity to create an 8-point lead. In another match of the day, Kano Pillars Football Club defeated visiting MFM FC of Lagos 3-1 in Kano. In Maiduguri, El Kanemi Warriors snatched the second place from MFM by beating visiting bottom of the league Remo Stars by 2-0. That was the midday news, and just before we go, the major stories once again. 4 killed, 5 injured in fatal auto crash at Ijebu axis of Lagos-Benin Expressway. Acting President issues riot act to separatist agitators. DSS investigates sponsors of hate speech capable of destabilizing Nigeria. And Lagos government resumes sale of lake rice ahead of the Salah celebration. On the foreign scene, we also told you that a van hit pedestrians in London, leaving 1 dead and 8 injured. And 4 terrorists, 2 tourists killed in jihadist attack on luxury resort in Mali. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Chienye. Good afternoon and do have a lovely day.